do I need to hire a property management company? And my answer is no, you definitely don't, especially with the first property. If you had 2 to 3 doors, you may want to consider that. But on the very first property, especially if it's new construction or turnkey, all you're really doing is collecting rent. So why are you going to go and pay someone like me, right, or a management company a monthly management fee just to collect your rent? Hi guys, welcome to episode 3 of Selling Houston. I am your hostess, Courtney Oconlamo, broker owner of Collective Realty Co. And this is my lovely guest, Tionne Daniels, back for round 2. Can't understand why you'd sign up for that, but she is here. Let's recap last episode.
Oh, girl.
Should we?
Yeah.
We talked about first year in real estate, and how much money you did and didn't make.
Didn't.
Not didn't. Didn't make. You did establish the fact that you did not have a broker, or you had a broker, but you didn't have a mentor.
Right.
And just to throw this out there, I become your broker and your mentor all in one for the price of one. So I find that to be interesting. So you did not have a broker or you did not have a mentor or a coach, but you were able to successfully navigate your first year with 5 deals, I believe it was. And we kind of picked apart the pros and cons of, making sure that you have all the tools necessary to be a selling agent, not just an agent with a license, which I think is really important, but more importantly, how you determined where to spend your time, what to focus on, and honestly, just dealing with the bumps and bruises of these deals.
Right.
That's really what molds us at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's how we learn.
Exactly. So I think that's really cool. Today, however, we're going to jump into house hacking. So everybody and their mama
Want to know.
Wants to be a house hacker. And this is the episode that you need to watch if that is you. So let's just get into it.
Let's go.
Now, most people want to know what the definition of house hacking is. And to be honest with you, it could mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. What it means to us as real estate professionals is, how do you become either a homeowner and or landlord with as little money as possible out of your own pocket, but turning that into a valuable asset that makes the most sense and dollars to you. So that's what we're going to jump into and talk about. And I think that it is super important for me to state for the record that I have helped countless people become first-time home buyers, first-time landlords. I've assisted family and friends with, turning their existing property into an investment property and then upgrading their current home so that they can live the big life, in that next big house. And I think that not enough people know how to do this, number one, but then they also don't even realize that it's an option. Okay. So we're going to talk about the pros and cons of house hacking. And then we're also going to make sure that you know what to expect when you're navigating this process. Right. So first and foremost, whenever you are thinking about doing this house hacking, I believe that you really need to establish what your goal is and what the property looks like, right? Everybody wants multifamily.
Right.
I had a conversation with a client just this morning on the way into the office with her, and we were talking about how you think that you're just trying to figure out the definitions of things and how you're supposed to accomplish it and strategize to achieve it. But that's really your agent's, responsibility. Right. So what I explained to her is, what is your goal? I need to know what you are looking to accomplish. And then my job as the expert is to help you strategize what that looks like. So we had that conversation, and she now understands that she's got to go back to the drawing table, identify what it is that she wants to accomplish, and then we go from there. perfect example. Let's pick apart this whole multifamily fad that's going on.
Yes, everybody loves it.
A wise person once put on an Instagram video, because I won't even say once said, it's not about the doors if the math makes sense.
Yes.
So if the math makes sense on $1 million investment property that has one door, then the math makes sense on that, right? I think that everyone is so convinced that they have to have multiple doors in order to make this house hacking thing happen. And it's just simply not true. So I'm going to talk about single family house hacking more than anything. And then, of course, we'll kind of jump into the pros and cons of, multifamily too.
Of course.
So once you've identified the goal and the property, now I want you to establish your financial resources. So let's say you say, okay, Courtney, I want to purchase a property. I'm going to live in it myself. And then, if life happens, if I get engaged, if, I relocate my job or what have you, those are viable circumstances that do allow you to change the trajectory of your life and what you intentionally plan to purchase the property for. Mm-hmm. So yes, you are going to sign something at closing that says, I intend to occupy this property at closing and I intend to live there, but it doesn't mean that you have to live there forever.
Right.
So I want you to just keep in mind that it's intentions that matter the most. And again, our goal is to go and get you into the property with the minimum down payment that is, required. A lot of times it could be 0%, it could be 3%, it could be 3.5%. And it just really depends on what you're willing to sacrifice, I guess, in the meantime, right? So if you are telling me, Courtney, I want to live in the property and I will live in the property, and then if something happens, I can go and lease it out, then you can use those down payment programs that I just mentioned. So 0%, 3%, 3.5%.
Correct.
If you tell me, Courtney, I just need an investment property, I'm not going to commit any mortgage fraud and lie and say that I'm not going to live in there. Now, remember, I need you to live in this house, okay? And if you're not going to live in this house, then your down payment is going to swell up to 15, 20, 25%, yes. Right? So I need you to have good intentions and have the intention to accomplish whatever those goals are before you determine, what kind of financial resources you should identify for yourself.
Right. And I think, like you said, it just pivots back to the starting point of what is it that you intend
the goal.
To do here?
Yep.
What is your end goal?
Exactly.
Here? Because that's going to determine, what resources you'll need and so on and so
right.
forth.
It determines basically everything. So I love that we're able to kind of, give that advice to especially first timers that really know nothing. But I think that when you have things broken down so simply, it really isn't as difficult as many people think.
Yeah, it's easier to digest.
Yes.
It's easier for them to understand, okay, at step 1, I need to do this. Step 2, step 3.
There you go.
Get through it faster.
So we already established step 1 is identifying the property and the goal. Step 2 is making sure that you know what resources you have to contribute to the transaction. And then the obvious step 3 is just making sure that you choose me. Or Tionne. whoever floats your boat. So, in all fairness, sincerely, choosing the right agent is detrimental to your success.
Yes.
Period. So if you're choosing an agent that knows nothing about selling investment properties or turning first-time home buyers into first-time landlords, then you, quite frankly, just have the wrong person assisting you. Our services in Texas, at least, are complimentary to the buyer. So it behooves you to make sure that you're finding the best person to represent you, right? And look no further. I can't even tell you how many buyers, landlords, tenants I've assisted with this very strategy and with this very goal of theirs. And I would love for you guys to be next. So saying all that to say, I want to jump into the pros and cons of being a landlord, because everybody wants to be a landlord. Everyone.
And it's great.
It is until
it's not.
Until it's not. So everybody wants to be a landlord, right? And I want everybody to be a landlord, honestly. Not everybody. It takes everybody to make the world go round, but a large percentage of you watching, like if you're watching a real estate podcast, I want you to be a landlord.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest, right? However, I want you to know what's on the other side of being a landlord. And one of the biggest things that is on the other side of being a landlord in terms of a con is making sure that you have all of the items in place to mitigate your risk, right? So what that looks like for me is anything that you do in life is going to be a risk, right? And at the end of the day, you need to make sure that you're putting safeguards and things in place so that it mitigates your risk as much as possible. Mm-hmm. Things like this include, like, for example, if you were to purchase a brand new construction property, it's going to come with warranties for extended periods of time, right? And if you're not purchasing new construction, or if those warranties expire, they have what's called renewable warranties, right? Where you can file claims with the warranty. They have monthly payment options. Of course, you're going to have a deductible when you file a claim, but think of it as car insurance, where you have like insurance on the property. Of course, you're going to have property insurance as well, but these home warranties act as an added layer of insurance, if you will.
Right.
So when you're putting things like this in place, it makes everything much easier. You can call just like you were in an apartment and say, hey, I have a leak. Can you send a plumber? You know, those are the types of things that you're able to do when you have safeguards in place. Okay, so everything comes with risk, but I just need you to remember that there are ways to mitigate it, right? So let's kind of pivot. Let's do like pros and cons. Let's see let's see who's got the best pros and cons. Okay, so what's one of the pros that comes with being a landlord, would you say?
So a pro that comes with being a landlord is that your tenant is paying off your mortgage. And so while your tenant is paying off your mortgage, you are still building equity on this home. So, I mean, I think it's like, it's beneficial in both ways, because you aren't the one having to pay this mortgage down. Right. And at the same time, you're building equity on your property. So why not? So that would definitely a pro.
So you're building equity in the property, and then you're also getting someone to pay down the debt.
Correct.
Can you also take money out while someone is in there paying?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
And are you, when you talk about that with your clients, are you pinpointing that, or are you focusing more on different details surrounding how they can take that money out?
No. So I'm going to pretty much discuss with them overall.
The big picture.
The big picture.
Perfect.
But we are going to touch on the small details as well, just because I like for my clients to be well-rounded and well-versed. So that way, whenever they make a decision, it's going to be a good, sound decision, and they're comfortable with it moving forward.
Perfect.
So that way we don't, a few years from now, they don't regret it or anything.
And you're a year and a half
Girl,
into
the
business.
You.
So where would you think, but how, so you have a house hacker client that you're working with now, right? And has she identified any goals with you? Like, have you determined what strategy you're going to use for her, for example?
We haven't discussed strategies yet. So we just had a brief conversation about what her goals are.
Okay.
So she
did step one.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. We're moving on to step two now.
Okay.
So now we're getting into the
resources
and all of that.
Okay.
But from my understanding, from our conversation, her goal is she would like something that is a little bit more turnkey. Okay. So it's going to be her first time buying a home, first time as a landlord. And I mean, I don't blame her. She doesn't want to go through, getting a property where she has to put in a lot of work and a lot of rehab. So a turnkey would be best for her.
And which, by the way, that is 99.9% of the time what I'm going to require, honestly, my clients to do, because the next immediate question that they typically ask is, one of the cons that we're actually going to touch on too, tenant relations, right? So having to be a landlord and deal with tenant issues, you minimize tenant issues when you have a turnkey property or a brand new construction property that has very little deferred maintenance. So I am almost always recommending new or turnkey properties for that very reason.
Right.
Most of my clients will also come and say, okay, tenant relations is one of the cons that we're discussing. Do I need to hire a property management company? And my answer is no, you definitely don't, especially with the first property. If you had 2 to 3 doors, you may want to consider that. But on the very first property, especially if it's new construction or turnkey, all you're really doing is collecting rent. So why are you going to go and pay someone like me, right, or a management company a monthly management fee just to collect your rent and maybe pop into the property every now and then, change air filters, check and make sure they're not just running that damn thing into the ground? Because I've seen that. We've seen a lot of that, unfortunately. But I feel like the big picture, right? If that's what you always want to focus on, especially with real estate. Yeah. I would agree, right? Wouldn't you say that? Of course. The big picture is just so much more important. And when we are talking to our clients, we are making, recommendations that align with the big picture. Not just, I need to hire a management company because now I'm a landlord. And that's what landlords do. It may not necessarily be the case for you. So that is one of the other cons that I think a lot of tenants or landlords rather, don't really think is going to happen on the other side. And these tenants are calling. Yeah. They toilet leaking. They late on rent. There's all different types of things that are going to happen with your tenant. And I don't recommend having a management company or paying one right out the gate if you are getting a turnkey or a new construction property.
It's not necessary.
Yeah, definitely not.
It's not necessary.
Definitely not. So what are one of the other pros that you would say? I don't want to scare them off with too many cons.
No, we're not going to give you all the cons. The major pro, and I think the biggest one, is home ownership. Okay. So although you would be a landlord, you still own the property. You get all the benefits that come with being a homeowner. You get to say, I'm a homeowner. Just that pride in it is important. It means a lot to people to go through that buying process and to get to the closing table and say, hey, I own this property. Right. And now I'm a landlord as well. Why not be both?
Exactly. And when you are getting to the point where you're now a homeowner, and like you said, there are different perks that come with it, and we're right in the middle of tax season. So what happens with people that own properties? We get to reduce our taxable income, and you don't if you ain't a homeowner. Yep. And it's really just that simple. So that is why a lot of, important, prominent real estate owners are always preaching that the cornerstone to wealth is through property ownership, without question. Of course. You get to write off more things than you can even imagine. And I'm going to leave that to a tax accountant or Google to, a tax accountant. Exactly. Please refer to them. However, I know that as a homeowner, I am reducing my taxable income astronomically because I'm a homeowner. And the sooner you find out the tips and the tricks to that, I think that you'd be more open to considering it for yourself. Yeah, of course. So that is definitely another pro without question. So all the perks of homeownership and the write-offs. Awesome. Do not forget the write-offs.
Please don't.
And then last but not least, I would say that one of the cons with being a landlord would be making sure that you're choosing the right location for the property that you are identifying. Perfect example. Everybody is on these multiple door, hacks, if you will. And ultimately, especially in Texas, these duplexes and these triplexes and quads, they are going to be in rural areas. They're not going to be in cushy subdivisions with HOAs and regulations and, people watching over each other like a community, if you will. It's kind of every man for themselves. I'm not going to be honest.
That's an understatement. That's an understatement.
So you have to be prepared. That's why you'll see in Texas, number one, all of these duplexes are just all over the city. They're in different remote areas. They're in rural areas. You will see a lot of them in the center of the city. So they will be close to downtown. They will be close to, areas of interest. However, they are not going to be always next door to a beautiful home. Right. They could be next door to an abandoned home. Right. They could be on the same block as, four story properties. So I need you to be an educated consumer and buyer and realize that these particular properties do still lease too. right? I have clients that have very successful rental properties in Conroe. You know, you may not want to live there, but there are people that want to live there.
Absolutely.
And that will pay you rent to live there. So the biggest house hack that I can give you to piggyback off of one of your pros is, you know, the cash flow. You talked about the monthly cash flow, but to take it a step further, I want you to realize that you maximize your cash flow when you minimize your expenses.
Yes.
So if you are in, you know, the Woodlands or in a high tax rate area, you're going to maybe increase your monthly rent, but your taxes are going to be much higher, most likely, right? So in places like Conroe, I have clients that have 1.8% tax rates. Look at your eyebrow. Can you do that again? You never heard of that 1.8?
What?
Tionne, do that brow again.
I don't even know what I did. It was like, what?
It was only one that went.
1 point what?
So that must be a good thing, huh?
What's that?
So that must be a good thing, huh?
That's a great thing. That's a great thing. So 1.8% tax rate, and property taxes in Texas are crazy.
Yeah.
Listen, we talked on episode 1 about relocating. I need you guys to please call me before you start getting in bed with this relocation plan of yours, because our property taxes are fairly high. However, it still is an overall better cost of living and payment for you.
Right.
But let's jump into this tax rate. So ultimately, taxes can make or break a deal. So I have clients that have $600 principal and interest payments, and then their taxes are another $600 or $700 monthly. And then that combined is going to make up your monthly payment plus property insurance. It's called PITI, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. And one of the biggest expenses in the principal, interest, taxes, and insurance is going to be the taxes. So when you hear things like 1.8% tax rate, you know immediately, if you sell in real estate pretty often, that's why your brow went up, that most tax rates are going to be 3%.
Yes.
That's the average that you can expect, right? But up in Conroe, Magnolia, Tomball, you can find areas that are well below 2% in your tax rate. When you get to the center of the city where these duplexes and these multifamily properties are, though, they have low tax rates too. So that's why you do see a lot of people wanting to navigate and go towards the multifamily realm. I just want you guys to know that it's not the only way to go.
Right.
If the numbers overall make sense and your property up in Conroe can lease for the same amount that the properties in the center of the city are leasing, and you're having less expenses and taxes, it's a no-brainer. You need to go to Conroe, right?
Of course.
So I just want you guys to keep in mind that there are more than one way to skin a cat, right? And that most importantly, when you're trying to leverage that monthly cash flow, that you're looking at expenses too. So when your client identifies to you what property, you know, she definitely wants to pursue, we'll go in, we'll look at the rental comps, we'll run numbers with our lender. And if the math ain't math, then we're not buying, you know? And I think that as seasoned agents, and you, Tionne, still strike me as extremely seasoned with such a short amount of, you know, time as selling. And I think that you can agree that when you are helping these clients, it's not transactional. It's not about the one deal. I want your mama, your daddy, they cousin, they brother, they sister. Everybody, your cat.
Cousin that you haven't talked to in 3 years.
Period. We want all of them. So the only way to really do that is to show you how good we are, right? So it's not transactional. I want to sell everybody in the family a property. And the way that I do that is to make sure that I give you all of the expertise that I have. I give you the patience. I give you the information. And then you can make the best informed decision. Yeah. So I think that's really cool.
I think it's important for us too, as real estate professionals, to not think of it as being transactional, and also think of it as a means to educate as many people as possible. Yeah. Because if I'm, you know, my client that I'm working with now, if I'm educating her on building wealth through real estate, she's going to go and tell somebody else.
She's going to do the job for you.
Exactly.
And that's what I love.
Exactly.
They be doing buyer consultations without me, my client.
You walk in and
I done find out what I did this and I did that. So they really will do that work for you, and they actually enjoy it.
They like it, yeah.
I've had so many clients. In fact, I have a consultation with one of my previous clients that wants to now become an agent because they just, You know, like I get that a lot, but I get that a lot. And I'm sure that you're going to get it a lot too.
I'm starting to, yeah.
See, you already are.
Yeah. What do I need to do, Tionne? I'm like, all right, girl. Okay.
So I think that we summed up those pros and cons.
I think we hit the main ones. Yeah. I mean, of course, there are always going to be minor details.
Right.
But, I mean, we'll be here all day if we talk about real estate.
Exactly. So we wanted to stick to the main ones. Yeah. So everybody wants to know about cash flow. We touched on that. Everybody wants to know about overall home ownership and the fact that you have someone paying off your debt. I also want to touch on the fact that you can pull money out. And I think you mentioned that too. So you can pull equity out of the property as you own it. So you don't necessarily have to sell it to capitalize on the value of the home. So those are really great cons, or pros rather. And then as far as the cons are concerned, we just want to make sure that you know the best ways possible to mitigate your risk. We want to make sure that you choose the right expert. And then finally, we want to make sure that you identify the goal from the very beginning, because if you don't do that, it just tends to be a rocky road ahead. And we don't do that. Everything is seamless and smooth over here at Collective Realty Co. So we like to follow systems and processes and make sure that not only do you have the information to make these informed decisions, but you also have an expert guiding you along the way. So
get the right agent, guys. It's so important. Like,
get the right Tionne.
I like that. What she said.
Get the right Tionne.
What she said. It's important.
So now what I think we should do is let's jump into this game. So I know this is you guys' favorite part of the damn show, but it certainly is not mine. And you guys are going to be very amazed to see who's going to ask these questions, because I think they're going to come in front of the camera for once.
They getting a cameo, y'all.
I think that I'm being spoofed, but we'll see. I don't know who's about to round that corner. We're going to see who it is.
Dun, dun, dun.
Girl,
it's a surprise. We don't even know, guys.
Please stop. Please stop the press. Oh my God. So let's get into this game, because they stalling. I don't think production is prepared. Who's hosting the questions for this game? I'm waiting.
It is I.
She's
sorry.
Back. Is this mic on with the sultry?
Testing.
I'm waiting.
She's on. Miss Sultry is back.
Who's hosting
Miss
this
Sultry
game?
is back.
Miss Sultry.
Oh, it's Miss Sultry.
That's right.
Okay, girl. Wait, I thought it was Miss Sultry. Who is this fool?
That's
With
your
the
special
shades on.
guest.
It's the shades for me.
Who are you? Why are you here?
Oh, don't do him
my
like
God.
that.
Jesus help me.
How's everyone doing?
Who are you? You gonna tell the people who you are?
You need to share your mic.
You need to come a little closer, I guess.
Okay, here we go.
Who are you?
Yeah.
What is this, girl? This is not his place of business.
Yeah, let's keep the ball rolling.
Oh, am I on?
What is the game?
Okay.
What is this game? Because I cannot.
So this game, you might be familiar.
Please, this is ridiculous.
It's called Be For Real.
Oh, good.
And Bio, did anyone give you instructions on your
I
role?
don't think so.
No?
I think he just showed up.
I'm giving, okay. So,
I'm natural, so.
okay, so here's how this is gonna go.
Supposed to be doing.
I'm gonna, okay.
Let him go first.
No. His job, Bio, is actually here to facilitate this conversation and make sure that Miss Courtney is giving honest answers.
Hot seat.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't really want this.
Oh, we do. The viewers and
People
we
want it.
absolutely want it. Okay. So this is how this goes. Just as a recap.
Are you guys gonna be able to hear me? I know, but how? Can you really still hear though?
Like, pull it closer, yeah.
I feel like he just needs to be closer, honestly. Yeah.
Okay.
All the way. Come all the way. Do you have to look like that? Like, you're wild as hell for that outfit. I cannot.
Yeah, here we go.
All right, everyone. We have a special guest tuning in today for this segment. We're going to play a game. You guys may be familiar. It is called Be For Real, otherwise known
That
as
is raunchy.
BFFR.
I like it.
The way that this is going to go, we have 6 questions.
There were 5 last
Wait a minute.
episode.
What happened to the extra question?
There are 6 questions. There are 6 questions for this game. Bio, you do not have to answer. We just need you to make sure that Miss Courtney is staying on track. And this is really what we need you to do. If you feel like she's not giving an honest answer or she's being politically correct, not the way that Courtney would answer, tell her be for real. Just like that. Tell her be for real.
Okay, so Tionne is definitely going first.
Okay.
Of course.
Oh my God.
And just for those who may not know, which is probably everyone at this point, Courtney, would you introduce our guest?
So, guys, unfortunately, this is my husband. He kind of cute.
Ooh.
So when we left this morning, or when I left the house this morning, he didn't have this on. He definitely didn't have this out. He didn't have no haircut. I'm like, honey, I'm about to go record some episodes for my podcast. And he laughed at me like he always does, because that's just, our love language. So he laughed at me. And then your ass went and got a new costume, cut your hair, and came in here with shades. Like, this is the definition of what I live
Am I
with.
supposed to answer that?
Yeah. What's your answer for yourself? Because you wild as hell for showing up like
There
this.
ain't no costume to start.
Okay. What is it, baby?
I can't just keep, naming the labels of what I got on, but I just got to dig them off my wardrobe, and here we are.
Just threw something on.
All right.
So, yeah, just to throw something on.
Yeah, you just threw something on.
Okay,
I cut my own hair, but today I decided to,
You went and got a haircut?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
You said you usually cut your
Okay,
own hair.
let's go. Big fucking for real.
There we go. See, he's getting the hang of it. I like it.
Okay. So, what's the first damn question?
First question.
Oh, we ready to jump in? All right, everyone. So, question number 1 is, what's your biggest pet peeve in regards to having employees?
I think that's more suitable for you.
Ooh, juicy.
With all my employees standing around.
Yeah. Let's
The people
be
And
honest.
with this fool ready to say be for real.
Putting you on the spot.
So my biggest pet peeve.
can be for real quick.
And guess what? I worked in corporate half my life, okay? So I now am seeing the other side of it. So it's very interesting. And my pet peeve is wasting time. Time wasted, time used to not work.
So time management.
It's time management
or lack
for me.
thereof.
Because guess what? I spent a lot of years in corporate. And as long as I got the job done, nothing mattered, right? Right? Nothing mattered.
Yep.
However, if the job isn't getting done, it makes me hone in on what's not. Like all the times I may have seen something not working or somebody not working. So for me, it's totally time management without question. But I highly value people that actually get the job done and still get to have fun. Because that's what we do here. We have fun.
We do.
Oh, y'all agree.
We do.
See? So what's your pet peeve? Because you are technically an entrepreneur. So
I
you
am.
have to
I
figure something
technically
out.
don't have any employees yet. Big yet.
Okay, come on.
But I would have to agree. I don't have any employees yet, but I don't like to waste
agree?
time. I don't like to waste time. Like that is something where it's like, if you are wasting my time, we got to discuss some things, because you either gonna move around or you gonna get it together. Like, I mean, there's no other way around it, because
Right.
it's too much to be done. Like we have stuff to do. We got goals to reach. So
Right.
we got to get to it.
And for realtors, time is money, right?
Seriously. Everything. Like every
Yeah.
second. And we're like calculating every second of either unproductivity or productivity. It's really, right? There's like no in between.
It's either or.
Did we do anything to generate leads or make money today? Or did we not? I mean, it's really that simple. So yeah, time for sure. So am I being real?
You're not supposed to ask me. I'm supposed to be for real you. Not being straight.
Oh, okay. So
All
then
right.
he agrees with me.
So next question.
next question.
All right. Name one unpopular opinion you have that no one else will agree with you on. We digging in this segment.
In any way.
Anything.
I don't know. Can you repeat the question?
Name one unpopular opinion you have that no one else will agree with you on.
Oh,
Unpopular.
I'm trying to think of that myself.
right? What is an unpopular
I would say,
opinion?
Let's go.
and it's a little, I guess, controversial again.
Great.
Beyonce fans, right? Like, I'm a Beyonce fan. I'm a surface level love Beyonce fan. And I feel like it's unpopular to say that, especially with all the controversy in her music and, you know, people saying she's a part of the Illuminati. And I just haven't really dug in deep enough to corroborate that or not. I just like her music. What's wrong with just liking people's music?
For real.
We need a buzzer.
Somebody told him to say that. Who told him to say that? So what would you say, honey?
I mean,
What's unpopular opinion? Oh my God.
I mean, it's popular opinion. Everybody know that they are part of the Illuminati. So what are you talking about? Man.
Oh.
I am a fan. But I just haven't done the extensive research that other people are doing. Okay, baby, we gonna do the research.
I'm researching Beyonce. He gonna make you write a whole paper.
And I want to double answer this. Another unpopular opinion. We talked about this in the last episode. Everybody thinks that Burna Boy is better than Wizkid. That is just not true. Would you agree, babe? Who's better, Burna Boy or Wizkid?
I don't care about both of them.
Okay.
I guess he's indifferent.
So, yeah.
I mean, they have different kind of music, though. That music.
They do.
That's true.
But if you are going to answer a question overall, I'm into decision making. So y'all either going to get on or off this fence. So what is it? Who's the bigger picture, better star, better artist, who has the better music overall? Like, you got to choose a side.
To me, we're talking about music or any genre of music that you have is different. But when
Okay.
you're talking about musicianship, I mean, Burna Boy is better. For real.
What the just happened? Okay. So, next question.
Wait,
I can't
Tion.
believe you would embarrass me in front of all these people like that. Wow. Wow.
This is gold.
Wow.
This is gold. Okay.
Now,
so
wow.
gold.
Did we just trigger Courtney?
I think
Did we
so.
just? Okay.
I think so.
How could you? I told you what happened over the weekend.
What's that?
That some women were trying to tell me that Burna Boy was better than Wizkid.
Oh.
All I know is he will be in concert here in March, and if you don't get me tickets, it's gonna be a problem. So we just gonna know that. All right, next question.
Tion.
Okay.
Same question.
Okay.
Question.
So for simplicity's sake, I'll just stick to music like we've been doing.
No. We want something outlandish.
I really don't know. I can't even think of
Okay. What's
anything.
unpopular? Okay, I do like that. Let's stick with the music. Okay.
For simplicity's sake, for music,
Anxious
I think
to
that
hear
my unpopular opinion would have to be Drake. I am not.
At all?
He don't do it for me.
At all.
I agree to that.
Okay, wait.
I'm not a huge
Old Drake, cool. I'll listen
What's
to that.
old Drake? Okay.
Marvin's
Name a
Room.
song.
Marvin's
Take
Room.
Care.
Okay.
Actually, no.
So Far
Wow.
Gone. I like those. But
Oh, Bria's
I don't know,
interlude.
girl. He is.
now you can't pay me to go to a Drake concert.
No, I wouldn't go to a concert, but the music, you can't deny that music. And that's the thing. Like, if y'all close your eyes and don't really look at the name and all of that and figure out how it's moving you, I really think that you may have a change of heart. No.
Basura.
No. That's a no. What she said? Trash?
Basura.
Basura?
Uh-huh.
So you speak in Spanish and I'm over here speaking Yoruba.
You know, I be trying.
Oh, y'all are funny.
But no, I'm not a huge Drake fan.
Wow.
I'm not. He just,
You know what? I'll let you have that.
Yeah.
If you would have said somebody else, like Beyonce, for example.
Oh,
Don't say- just don't even say it. Just don't. Do not ruin this chemistry. Do not, Tion.
I'm a Beyonce fan.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'll rip.
There you have it.
all right. Y'all ready?
I forgot you're born and raised here.
I'm from here, so I have to support. Exactly.
Okay.
Next question.
Somebody has to get him sipping this damn coffee because I can't.
With these shades on, that's what's getting it.
What's the next?
All right. Next question. If you could pay someone to do something for you, what would it be? I know my answer.
If I could pay somebody,
To do something for you.
All
I
of
pay a
my
lot of
administrative tasks that I have to do as a realtor.
Wow.
And a business owner. Because I feel like I do a lot of tedious tasks because, I mean, it's my business. I'm the only one in it right now, so I have to do it. But if I could pay somebody, like, once I get an assistant, what? Gladly. Here you go, girl. Here you go your task for the day. You got it. Call me if you got questions.
You got it.
Call me if you need help because I don't want any part. I am tired, y'all. I'm good.
What would I pay? You know what? I know exactly what I would pay for right now. So, as I mentioned, while I always interrupt people, so I'm so sorry, Tionne. I pay a lot of people to do a lot of things, but one thing that I haven't transitioned into yet is cooking. And the reason why I
Look at his face.
the reason why I just can't seem to make my way to paying somebody to do it yet is because my kids think I'm a star chef. So if I stop cooking, this fool will eat if you serve it on a plate. If I serve it, actually. But my kids, they just think I cook the best food in the world.
Aww.
So if I stop doing that, I think that I will lose that little oomph, you know, that I mean to them. So I wish I could pay somebody to cook everything, honestly. Yeah.
Maybe not right now. Maybe in the future.
You know, I think I think that the goal is going to be to find a way to cook more, honestly. Yes. To pay other people to do more things so that I can
have the time.
So that I could be
That makes
home
sense.
and doing it more often.
That makes sense.
So I really think that that's what I would maybe focus on. And remember, nothing is permanent. The kids are getting older when they turn a certain age. So I always keep reminding myself of that. It's all temporary. So I just got to cook until they 18 or cook until they 16. Because at that point, they're not going to care.
They don't care.
Exactly. So.
Oh, you're lucky you didn't get
So you agree.
the buzzer on this one.
See, he agrees.
Wonderful.
So I'm not a liar.
What about lying?
Oh, black love. We love to see it. We love to see it. All right, number 4.
Oh.
Question number 4.
What is your go-to outfit to a closing?
Oh. No brainer for me. What's
you
yours?
going first?
I'll go first. Okay. So everybody knows I love details and accessories. So I'm always going to have on a brooch. I'm always going to be accessoried out. I like blazers. If it's a Friday closing, I'm coming looking real thottish, you know, like ripped jeans.
Oh,
you know
not
what I'm
showing
saying?
Oh.
I may do YSL instead of Chanel, you know.
Oh.
Go a little hood on them, you know what I'm saying? So I like to switch it up depending on the day of the week, depending on the client. So yeah, that's me.
All right.
I think for me, I like to jazz it up a little bit. Well, it's really like my everyday attire, but you know,
because you be cute, Tionne.
Tionne,
The way you
like,
can go to a
every
closing
day
and
of the week.
Thanks so
she
much.
be showing out.
Y'all should have seen her last Friday.
What the hell?
With Nomad. You was looking like a snack. And everybody was
Somebody
telling
insert a picture
Oh yeah.
for the visual. Insert a visual.
I didn't get any pictures that day.
Tionne, you was looking good, baby.
Thanks. Thank you so much. But I think my go-to is really just, so I dress depending on how I feel.
Yep.
Like, seriously.
Yep.
So some days you'll see me come in and I may be kind of casual with like tennis shoes, but I still kind of dress it up. But even with my closings, I'm always going to be in heels. Always.
Ooh,
no
so
matter
closing deals in heels.
Oh, I like
no
that.
matter
Ooh.
what. No
Brand
matter
that.
what, I have on heels at my closing. So I can, even if it's like a pair of jeans, like you said on a Friday, it'll be jeans and heels. Or if it's like during the week, it'll be a dress or some slacks or like some business shorts, nice blouse. And
Shorts.
heels. Yeah, they have shorts that like real businesses.
Really? Like a romper.
Well, I got a romper
Yeah, you got
too.
rompers.
I have.
I can't wait to see. You need to come in here every day.
Yeah. Oh, y'all gonna see the wardrobe. I like it.
I need. Yeah, I love to see it.
Yeah.
Tionne, we're gonna talk off camera about where you shop at, girl. Because your business
be
casual is
surprised.
on point.
Isn't
business,
surprised.
professional business casual is
Everything.
on point.
And I told her I'm loving this hair. Like this hair complements all of those looks.
I love it. I think I'm
Obsessed
just stick with this one. I love it.
Okay, so question number 5. What's the longest you've ever gone without being paid from real estate?
Girl.
Ooh. See how you
See,
go
I was like, I just got started.
I'm gonna ask Tara. You know what? I got a really interesting answer to that. Go ahead.
Longest I've ever gone without being paid, 8 months.
Wow.
I got my license and I closed on my first apartment deal 8 months later. So for 8 months, I didn't have any type of pay. Nothing.
Wow.
Well, I ain't gonna say nothing. I had, you know.
Yeah, of course.
But
You said 8 months? When?
And it was a long...
Talk me through that.
So I got my license.
Right.
When I first got my license, I had my license. I was like working through, but again, I didn't know anything.
Right. So that's mainly what it was.
That's what it was. That's
and you didn't apply yourself.
Exactly. I didn't know what to do.
You didn't know what to do.
I didn't even know where to start.
But you also paid all your fees. Do you see how they be getting people? That's why these big brokerages want thousands of agents.
Exactly.
Because that's what you guys will do. Is just pay with no goal and no.
That's exactly what I did. Like, if we can do it on a different episode, I can literally break down the amount of money that I spent versus what I got in my first year. And it's a deficit. That's what it was.
Oh.
Yeah. But again.
Well, you did come from Keller Williams.
Not just,
oh, so now
Oh, you throwing shots?
Right? Okay, so we just putting it out there this episode. Okay.
We just need a beep.
Right.
Oh, you can bleep that out.
We need that.
No, we don't need that. We don't.
I'm just saying.
Smoke.
No, we can.
Oh, we can what?
Look at the popcorn.
Okay.
Well, you did come from Keller.
I did.
And they rape y'all. Let's just be honest.
They did.
So I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
But here I am.
The trauma.
Exactly.
The trauma
Everything
of
happens
it
for a
all.
reason, baby.
Of course. That's why
Everything.
It's
Yeah.
a learning experience.
But I love you, and I'm glad you're here. You need to be closer. Like, what's going on? Actually,
She would.
you were supposed to be much closer than that this whole time. Thank you.
Oh, look.
Okay, so it's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
Tara, what you looking like? So I'm gonna have like a few layers to mine. I'm so wordy. I gotta work on that, right?
It's all right.
You guys like listening?
We
to
like
me,
it.
or- Okay, you do.
Don't work on
That's why we're here.
So I do have closings every single month. So I can't,
Humble
I can't
flex.
really,
Goals.
relate
Big
to
goals.
the story, right? However, you have a lot of expenses when you run businesses, right? The other thing that I have really learned and mastered is, I'll give you a perfect example. January this month is a little bit of a dry month in terms of my closings, but I do have a couple that are, on the books. However, my agents have quite a few. So when I add up all of that revenue, I'm not losing anymore because now I've got other people that are helping me with that bottom line. So what I would say to new agents and to agents in general is I am making sure that you guys have the tools to either open up your own brokerage in 5 years because, you have to be licensed and you have to have certain levels of experience, but you can start your team now. So if you start teams or find different ways to make other streams of income, then you may not have to go so long without, those types of pay.
Right.
So that's what I have to say about that.
So I'm sorry, I didn't hear the answer. How long?
She didn't provide
Not
one.
even 30. I mean, a week or two, maybe.
So let me ask you this. So to piggyback off of
So I'm a full-time realtor and I make full-time pay.
So is
Period.
this even was it like this even when you first started?
So my first year, I was in corporate.
Mm-hmm.
I think years 1 through 3, right, Tara? Years 1 through 3, full-time, at a job, and still a full-time agent in my eyes. And then years 4 through 6 is when I was a full-time realtor.
Right.
So I would not really know the answer to that. I would say that my first year I did about 1 million, 1.8 or something like that. Second year, maybe 2 something. Third year, I'm losing it now. I'm looking at Tara because she's my brain. I don't know why she don't know none of these numbers. But saying all that to say, I think that I'd say, once a month? I was at least having a closing once a month.
That's really good. That's awesome.
Not my first year, though. without question. Yeah, that's not going to
But even still, even in your first year, I know that you touched on the previous episode that you still had that experience. You know, you came into it with some experience.
Right.
So things were a little bit different for you.
Yeah. So basically, I had a mentor for the younger part of my life.
Yeah.
And then a big hiatus. And then my husband was like, oh, you had your license. I'll go get that license here. So, you know, I went ahead and did that. And I really didn't feel like I needed to reteach myself any of that stuff.
Yeah. So
took all my classes on maternity leave. And then, you know, that was all she wrote.
Yeah. That's really good. That's awesome.
So did that answer your question, CJ? Because you're putting me on the spot. You didn't answer your question. Oh, God. Changing of the guards. Jesus Christ. Help the children.
Okay. Y'all ready for the last question?
We are.
All right. When is the last time you've paid for the person behind you's order at Starbucks?
Oh, girl. I'm going to be honest.
I'll be honest. I think the last time, what are we in, January? I'll say end of November because it was after Thanksgiving. But I do it frequently, though.
So here's my thing. Ask my husband, and you could say, right? Because he be mad at me. I don't stand in line at Starbucks. I don't go through the drive-thru. I got a mobile order.
Oh, so you one of them just go
every day, and it's bad. It's bad.
Well, you should try it.
But how do I do it? Like, you want me to get in that line just so that I can.
Okay,
like,
so wait, Courtney.
I'm going to have to figure something else out. I got to figure. Tia, I got to figure. She said Starbucks. I got to figure something else out.
So look,
it's not going to be Starbucks.
You can go through Starbucks one time out of the week. So you can pay for somebody
and
else's
be
stuff.
that much later.
you can't leave a little bit early.
No. Let me figure something else out, right? Like, it's other ways to pay it forward,
okay, so
right?
how about this? How about not specifically at Starbucks since you don't go into
So where else
Starbucks?
I go, babe? What drive-thrus I be in? I really don't be in nobody's drive-thru.
Okay, we'll do this.
I gotta buy somebody a drink at the bar.
There you go. That's what I was about to say. Just do something.
Or do something else.
Or you can say, well, you ordered
Jack in the Box.
Jack in the Box.
Now, you was cool with Whataburger, but Jack in
Chick-fil-A.
Oh, Chick-fil-A is a good one.
You should do that.
Okay, and I have done that. I've actually done that at Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
I can't remember the last time, but I've done it at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I do that often. Whenever it pops in my mind, I'll be like,
So you be in the line at Starbucks. Girl,
I'm not.
Who does that anymore?
Cause you gonna push me away. I am not a Starbucks person.
What?
I don't drink coffee.
What do you drink? Tea?
I drink tea.
I drink tea. Are you serious?
She get on my nerves, y'all.
You drink tea?
Yes, I don't drink
Girl.
coffee. I'm a tea person. I literally I had started making my own tea at one point.
This one started off as that too. And look, damn.
What's that?
This was full of black coffee.
I think you influenced
Baby,
him,
it was about to spill over.
Okay, so what's the problem?
You influenced him. Now he's a coffee drinker.
I know you don't like to wait, but I need you to wait.
Okay.
This is a skimpy ass shot. Okay.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
It's just
Look at Courtney.
She's
It's
like,
the same.
It's just a larger cup.
You
just got a big boy cup.
It man
A big boy.
like double that.
But anyway, I think that most people don't do better because they don't know better.
Right.
So I think that hopefully if you guys walk away with anything from this episode, you understand more about how to accomplish it, but most importantly, that you know that you need to contact us.
Yes.
So with that being said, I'd like to make a toast to the house hackers of America. Cheers.
Not of America. Courtney, what the hell? What?
House hackers of America.
I didn't even catch it. Then I'm like, wait a minute, what?
Let's double it up. Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. What the
It wasn't that bad.
Why do you keep saying that it's bad?
Because I've had worse.
Oh my God.
It goes down smoothly.
Yeah, what is that?
It goes down really smoothly.
I think it's Remy.
It's good.
I think it's Remy. Jesus Christ. So, I don't even remember. Where we at right now?
We closing, baby. Look, she didn't need that second shot.
I sure did. Somebody need to feed me at this point. So in closing, I would like to thank my lovely guest, Tionne, my sexy husband, Bio. Watch it. And I want to remind all of you, if you're watching this podcast, you're clearly here to help us change the trajectory of real estate in Texas, and understand that strategy is super important when you're choosing your agent. We are looking to reposition ourselves as real estate advisors. We no longer want to be called realtors. So if that sounds like something that you're on board with, I need you to keep watching. And all of you new agents out there that are looking for tips and strategies to make more money and be less worried about your expenses, you're in the right place. So until next time, bye guys.